Hello, friends.
Hi.
It's Cinemondo podcast with Kathy and Mark and me. What do we got today? Why are we here?
Well, we're here because we like sort of genre films, and these Australian brothers, they directed a film a couple years ago called Talk to Me that was popular, an A24 release, and they have their next film coming out on May 30th called Bring Her Back. And the guys' name are Danny and Michael Philippou, and this is an Australian-produced horror film that stars Sally Hawkins and Billy Barratt. And it's getting some buzz, and so we're going to take a look at the review, the trailer.
It comes out in a week, I think.
Yeah, it comes out on Friday, May 30th.
I very often like Australian films.
Me too, especially Australian horror is pretty solid. And A24, so it has a lot going for it. Horror, A24, Australian, and filmmakers who already did a good horror movie. So
right,
let's
check it out. Bring Her Back.
Ooh.
Bring her back.
Bring her back.
Is it loaded up?
It is.
It's ready to rock.
And quiet. All right.
We're going to put you with a foster mum called Laura. You're going to love her.
Oh, welcome to your new home. This is my daughter's room. I want to show you something else. This way.
Jump scare.
The dog.
How did you cope with Kathy being gone?
I didn't.
I think there's something wrong with Laura.
Oh my God, what is it? We can bring it back.
What are you doing?
Supposed to report how safe and reliable you are. So stay safe, stay reliable, yeah?
The mom actress is pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Sally Hawkins. She's always has an
really
interesting vibe to her. So,
It's interesting they had that taxidermy dog in there because yesterday I read an article about a prop house that used to do like nature, like, plants and like wild animals that need to be on set, but they didn't want an actual live animal. Just right now they do taxidermy, the huge business doing taxidermy of people's pets, and they'll do which I thought was real. First of all, that's just kind of twisted to me. Number one, I understand the impulse, but they have some that are like they do just the paw and they put it like on a little stand, or they do hearts, just the heart.
Oh my God! Oof.
So
that's
and it's not super cheap, but it's not as expensive as you think. So it's very interesting. They have like they'll do a taxidermy of your cat or dog kind of curled up, sleeping or standing, and it's just like.
Well, what do you think about having the ashes of a pet, for instance? Having them in a little box.
That makes sense. I mean,
versus having a paw.
You have to look at it.
But having the stuffed corpse of your beloved pet, it's like, would you do that with your child if your child died?
Right.
Or your mother or something?
It's like would want to. That'd be another kind of
that people have in the past. I mean,
I guess they have
documented cases of such things, but it does tend to skew weird when you hear about that kind of thing, and so it's perfect for something in a horror film that kind of like jolts you. I thought it was a real dog that they were like, wow, a real dog, yikes. But I guess
it wasn't, but it looked a little ratty around the edges. I know that was the shock about it. It wasn't alive. But anyway, that was a very small part of this. Apparently, and I'm wondering if the taxidermy is sort of a little bit of a call out to what's happening of like they have to have whoever it is back when it looks like they might need a sacrifice. And so the young girl's going to kind of be switching places somehow. Maybe they're going to do, I don't know.
And there's maybe the memory of the previous sacrifices, that little boy that they seem to like show him as a momentary flash image, some previous victim or something like that.
Like some heavy dude. But thing I like about their movies is that they're really original concepts. They're not coming from another, horror movie franchise. It's not like a ghost or it's not like an exorcism.
Like slasher,
new supernatural twist, based in a lot of it has to do with family, or it has to do with, legacy or stuff like that, which I always think is kind of interesting because like people want to hang on to things, and it's sort of natural process. Things, people die and things end, but some people just don't want stuff to end. So I kind of like that idea.
Right.
They want to use technology or science or something to bring
Pet Cemetery.
keep someone around. Yes, Pet Cemetery.
But yeah, I mean, that is that, that scenario of what if there's some wishes that you don't want granted. There's some things that if somebody offered you this as a wish that they could grant to you, you would want to do it, but it's not a good idea, honestly. The idea bring the monkey's paw kind of thing. I guess that old story,
the old Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah.
Like there was an old Night Gallery episode where the woman is in love with the young assistant of her husband, who's a doctor, and he's learned this technique to make people appear to be dead or appear to have symptoms of different diseases. And so he simulates death in this young man, but he's got a special knock, like a hypnotic knock that'll wake him up. Doesn't work. So they bury him. And the woman finds some information like months later that is like, oh, he did the knock wrong. So she runs down to the cemetery and she starts pounding that sequence on the door of the tomb. And then of course there's a scream and a incredibly twisted ending. But those are classic stories. I mean, I just told you the whole story, which is just such a classic, monkey's paw kind of thing. But maybe that's what this is.
You got to know what is the mechanism? Like it seems like they need a new victim to come in,
right?
Like something that they have to replace. So I don't know. Bring her back.
One thing about trailers, and this was a shorter trailer, and I like the trailer. But one thing I always kind of like when I see quotes, actual blurbs like reviews, and it's from hashtag news or something I've never heard of. I always go, is that to me that can be a little bit of a negative, like they're going after some kind of review. That maybe is.
You mean like from us, people?
I was like a quote from Cinemondo. Really great movie, Cinemondo.
But our opinion does matter. Ours is different.
And maybe
theirs does too.
And the blurbs make it really interesting. So
one of them was Fangoria, which is kind of.
Oh, was it? Oh, was it? Okay,
that's legit.
I would take a Fangoria quote any day.
Yeah.
Yes, me too.
Because when it comes to horror, I feel like you kind of have to go outside the mainstream kind of critics, because a lot of critics kind of look down on horror and they don't really understand it. I mean, how many good reviews did read about The Conjuring? I'm going to keep banging this drum forever. And they were good reviews. And yet I went, it's probably one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen because it was very top 40. It wasn't scary at all. It put too much in it. It was like way too much and it wasn't even good. So I'm like, So this seems like one of those, this looks like it's for horror fans. It's going to bring you something disturbing because a lot of that imagery is really creepy, like really, especially when it comes to using children, like not super young children, but tweens or something. Children then get into that age, it gets a little creepier somehow.
It's funny. There's some people, we've talked about this before with things like It and whatever, where people are freaked out by clowns.
Yeah.
I'm not, to me, it's so artificial and somebody had to put a lot of time and effort putting the makeup on and the costume. It's like, if it's something that requires a lot of effort to get that look or whatever, like some characters in movies that are supposed to be like badass gangsters, but they have like 10 million piercings and they have all these tattoos. It's like this person spends a lot of time on their look, They spend a lot
of time in front of the mirror in the bathroom. You feel like well, have you seen Mark dressed as a clown? Because that is terrible.
Well, that's an exception.
There is one exception. Mark as a clown.
That's because it took me 5 minutes to get ready. It's all the natural scariness. Of
it showed. It showed, and it was scary.
If you see the way Mark looks now, if he takes that makeup off that he's wearing now,
it's terrifying.
Underneath that is a clown that will scare you until you for the rest of your life.
This natural makeup takes so long, much lighter in tone.
So I have
there's certain things that are scary to some people, but not to other people. So sometimes I'll see trailers and I'm like, okay, that kids for some reason, children trying to look scary don't scare me. It's like a kid making a scary face,
Yeah.
It's mostly about stuff being done to kids that makes it scary. Like this looks like something happening to kids that's creepy.
Right.
Ugh. They look like kind of victims or exploited for whatever the thing is.
Or if they're put in weird it doesn't have to be that they're made up, but there was that weapons trailer where they're sort of running weird on the street. That's kind of weird. That's creepier to me because that's just a weird thing to see.
Yeah, like they've been
Exactly.
inhabited by something, or
Right.
you know.
Exactly.
Of course, one of my favorite movies is The Exorcist, which is about a creepy child. You know, quintessential creepy monster demon child. Yeah,
There. Dun, dun, dun.
the T-shirt.
Yeah.
But
this T-shirt and like my regular makeup, forget it.
I know.
Yeah.
He's trying to hide it, but it's not.
there's deep evil in there.
Deep evil inside that. Okay, so we have some posters. I don't know if they really help, but it's like kind of like that's what you're talking about. Like this kid looks like something's happening to them, and it's not
Yeah.
the kid that set his. The kid itself is not scary, but what's happening to the kid seems very scary. Like
His
his eyes
are
gonna
a little
pop
bit
out.
funky, yeah, it's got
And even
some eye
just
drops.
the nails are all kind of dirty and creepy.
Yeah.
Looking, and the blood spiral around his head. It's like,
Yeah.
And then the other one's another big head one, but it's like looks like they're inside something.
Well, that's probably. I think that's
Is
probably.
it her looking in? Sally Hawkins.
Yeah.
Looking
Trying to
up out of the
look
toilet
in.
or something. To me, my first instinct with that image was she's in the toilet looking out. You know,
I'm thinking a washer, like a.
Yeah, because she's
like
got
a
glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. So I like how they have it's all blurry, but then where the blood kind of dripped across the eyes.
Yeah.
Weird. That's pretty cool looking.
And
And I
her
like how
hand.
back is spelled backwards. That's kind of fun. I'm surprised they get away with that because that never usually the filmmaker, no, we can't do it. But it's like it's so good and it's easy to read still, even though it's backwards. It's pretty.
Yeah,
it's pretty
that's a smart thing. Yeah.
I can just hear them in the meeting saying, "Bring her cab." What does that
I
mean?
know it's so hard to read.
I don't understand.
I don't understand it.
People aren't going to get it.
Yeah.
They're not. It's so hard to read back when it's backwards. It's just weird.
I think both of you have been in meetings like that.
We've been in way too many meetings.
Does it have to be bring her back? I mean, can we,
It just sounds too flat.
Yeah.
Sound more exciting.
Too many words with B's and
bring her back. Snappy. It's kind of like a song. But this looks cool to me as a horror film. It's got kind of a cool art house feel, which is A24.
Yeah.
Looks like it's gonna be smarter than the Avatar movie, kind of something original and cool. Looks disturbing with the innocent victim coming in and the stuffed animals. I don't want to see a lot of taxidermy stuff. Don't give me that. But it looks good. I'm interested in seeing it. Looks good.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah,
it does. And
there's some classic films that you always kind of compare things to. You know, I always go back to you've heard them a million times if you watch this podcast, but I always talk about my favorite horror movies, and I always compare movies to those, and I always think, how does it weigh up against my favorites? And so when you see a trailer, you know, you're just seeing bits and pieces that the people who made the trailer want you to see. So I always feel like, because of my experience with Hereditary, another A24 film, where I was resistant to see it because it had so much hype, and I really didn't think the trailer looked that great.
No.
But then I watched the movie and was absolutely blown away. So
good.
I don't know what to say about this one. I saw the trailer. It looked interesting, but the trailer didn't blow me away. But
it might blow. The movie might blow you away.
Yeah, the movie might. So
I'm interested in seeing it.
Yeah.
I watch just about every horror movie, so it's not a hard sell for me. But as horror movies go, it's like, this looks kind of intriguing and original. I take a look at it. So let us know in the comments. I know. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Would you watch this movie? Did you watch Talk to Me? Did you like it?
I like it when people try.
Let us know. I know they're trying to do something new. It's hard.
We love that. Bring her back. Coming May 30th. So check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.